Miss Jorja here. I want to start by saying that I hope everyone is safe and healthy. I'm creating this video so you all get the opportunity to practice during the time that we are unable to meet. It's just a few exercises, many of which we regularly do in class, and also some new ones that are safe alternatives to what we've been working on that you can try at home with a parent present. While I'm obviously in my kitchen, I recommend that everyone try this in a carpeted area if possible. I strongly advise against using makeshift mats, like with comforters or blankets, because they can move around and cause slips and falls that can result in injuries. I'll include a playlist for you to listen to while you follow along. Just like in class, we're going to be starting with jumping jacks. For my younger students, Acro 1, you guys get to do 50. For Acro 2 and 3, 75, just as usual. We all know that the proper jumping jack formation is an X and an I, and that's pretty much all there is to it. Okay, so for our second exercise, I know my younger students don't tend to do these with me so much, but we're going to be doing crunches, Acro 2 and 3. You should be quite familiar. For those of you who don't know, the proper crunch position is feet flat on the floor. You don't want them to be moving. You lay flat on your back, hands behind your neck, and you want to lift yourself up using your stomach muscles. You shouldn't feel any pinch in your neck at all. You should just be working your core and help building up strength. If you get a little bored of those, you could try some alternatives, which include your feet straight up in the air. Again, these are a little more challenging because you don't have something to anchor you, but it's all in your abs. And if you're really up for a challenge, you can open your legs into a full split and try to do your crunches there. For my younger students, I recommend 50. It might seem like a lot, but it'll be okay. And for my older students, Acro 2 and 3, you guys get to do 75, just like in class. The third thing we're going to be doing is our planks. The goal is to keep your body completely flat for a minute to a minute and a half. We don't want any booties up in the air or dipping down low. You just start in a push-up position and you try to maintain this for the duration of your exercise. An alternative would be to drop to your elbows and again keep that body completely straight. If you're not looking at a camera, I recommend looking at your hands and make sure you breathe through this. It really makes it a lot easier. I know some of my older girls like to go up and down. You're more than welcome to try that as well. Now we're going to begin some stretches. We're going to start with our right and left leg splits. We start bringing one foot forward and having one hand on either side of that leg. And we're going to try to keep our opposite hip pushing forward so we can have square hips and get the best stretch possible. We're going to try to hold this for 30 seconds. And once you finish, you get to relax and then switch feet. Now I have my left leg forward and I'm doing the same thing, still pushing my opposite hip all the way to the front. After we finish those, we're going to try to open up into our middle split or our straddle. We use our hands to push ourselves forward. And once we're in our biggest split possible, we begin to reach to one side and then bring our nose to our knee. We want to make sure that we're not lifting up this opposite hip. We want both hips evenly on the floor, and we want to make sure that our knees and toes are facing up to the ceiling the entire time. Now we reverse it, do it on the other side. And nose to your knee. We're going to reach right down the middle, try to bring our bodies flat to the floor. It's especially important right now to try to keep those knees pointing up. It's really, really easy to let them roll in. Again, we should be holding these for about 30 seconds. And when we finish, we can transition right into our H split. So we're going to push ourselves up, walk our hands forward, and slide down. At this point, your knees are fully rolled in, facing the wall in front of you. And the most important thing is to keep your legs in a straight line. You don't want them to be back behind you. Now we're gonna work on our bridges. I know all of you know how to do a bridge, but please have a parent available to watch you just in case an accident happens. And as a precaution, I'm going to be going over the basics of it. So we start, feet glued to the floor. We're gonna lay flat down on our backs. And we're gonna put our hands backwards like this, right next to our ears. Once you feel comfortable in the position, you're gonna push straight up and maintain strong arms. If you feel very comfortable in your bridge, you can lift one leg straight in the air. I know you can't see my feet or leg really, but try to have a straight leg with a pointed foot. And then try the opposite side. That is, again, if you feel very, very comfortable in your bridge, and only if. I recommend doing these for about 5 minutes. You can obviously come down between each bridge, but try to hold it as long as you can. It helps build strength, and it's a good way to stretch out our backs. Now I'm going to show you 2 different ways that you can safely practice handstands at home. Both of them require a wall space, preferably one that is completely bare. The first way we start is with our hands on the floor. You want a little bit of distance between you and the wall, and you're going to put your feet up here, and you're going to move your hands closer to the wall until your belly is touching it. Now you're going to try to hold this for as long as possible, and when you're done, start walking your hands out and your feet down. The second type of handstand is pretty much exactly what we do in class, except that the wall is going to help us balance and prevent any falls. So we're going to start with our hands at the base of the wall, fingers touching it. Then we're going to kick up. Try not to use too much force. You don't want to be kicking the wall too hard. And just hold it, hold it, hold it, hold it, hold it until you can't anymore. This is actually super beneficial, both of these, because they help you work on building up strength and balance during your handstands. I recommend doing these for about 5 minutes as well. You can alternate between the 2 or work on the one that feels most comfortable to you. Now we're going to work on back bends using the wall. So a lot of us are trying to work on doing a standing back bend, and this is a great exercise that you can safely practice that can help you get there. So you're going to start right near the wall. When you reach back, your hand should be comfortably touching it. You shouldn't be reaching too far. So you're just going to walk your hands straight down to the floor. And then you're going to use the wall once more to help you get up. I'm going to show you that from a different angle so you can see how I'm using it. So you're just going to reach for the wall, make sure you're touching it comfortably, and then you're just going to move your hands bit by bit in either direction until you get down, and then obviously back up. Because we're doing things for a lot longer than we would usually do them in class, like our bridges, back bends, and handstands, I recommend stretching your wrists out at the end. Some easy ways to do that is just to roll them in for a while, maybe a minute, and then roll them back out for another minute. And you can alternate between the 2 for as long as you like. It just helps loosen things up, get rid of any little aches or pains you might have, any soreness. Another stretch that might feel a little weird at first if you've never done it before would be to place your hands flat on the floor backwards and then sit back on your heels. It's going to stretch this front part of your wrist all the way up that arm. And then you could turn it around here, again sitting back, and stretch the back of your arm. Shake it out. And your arm should be feeling a little bit better. Alright guys, thank you so much for hanging out with me. I hope you guys found this at least a little bit fun. I miss each and every one of you so much, and I really look forward to seeing you soon.